It is January, it is 2024, what the fuck? Let's see what I'm going to be reading this month. I have got a bit of a mixture here. I don't know why I say that like it's a surprise. I always have a bit of a mixture. I think this is the least mixture I've ever had. I have one not fantasy. Yeah, I think there is one book that is not science fiction fantasy. So this is the least mixed I've ever had in my life, so let's just dive in. First up, we have the Total Bollocks read-along. Yes, we are continuing this into 2024. I am so excited, and the prompt for January is to reread a 5-star book. Now, there were so many options that I could have went with here. There are so many books that I would love to reread on my shelves. I may change my mind, but for now I am just going with The Gift by Alison Croggon, the first book in the Pellinor series that my channel is named after. Is anyone really surprised? No. If I can, I will also try and squeeze in another reread, but I haven't reread this in like 2 years, and it's a good excuse. Leave me alone. I love this series so much. It is high fantasy, very much, you know, inspired by Tolkien. It has music-based magic, it has just everything. It just has everything. Like, I say this every time I mention it, but these pages are coming out. Like, the pages are literally falling out of my edition as I try and put them back in. There's quite a few pages that have come out because I've reread this so many times. I used to just reread and reread this when I was younger. I adore this series with my entire heart. It is a fantastic fantasy series. It's technically YA, but I think that's just because it's aimed at a female audience with a female protagonist. I think this would have been published as an adult series if it was published now rather than when it was. Fantastic, written by an Australian author who is just an amazing woman. I love her so much, and this is underrated and I adore it, and you are all missing out, I'm just saying. So I'm very, very excited to re-dive back in to Myra's world and re-experience this amazing fleshed out magical system with these characters that I adore and their fleshed out character development, and it is perfection. If you like a high fantasy book, this is perfection. Just saying. A little challenge I'm setting myself, it's not really a challenge, but I figured out that if I read, I think, one book a month in 2024, then I can read The Hogfather by Terry Pratchett in December, which works out nice and perfectly. So I have my Discworld novel for this month, which is Eric by Terry Pratchett. I know nothing. Eric is a demonology hacker and summons Rincewind. Oh, this is gonna go wonderfully. I already read through the Discworld books pretty quickly, but this one is extra short. It's only 155 pages, so when I told my other half that I needed to steal his edition, this is my partner's, I don't own any from this point onwards, I'm just borrowing his because he has the whole series. And when I told him, oh, can I get that out for the TBR please? And he's like, you could read this now. This will be a really, really quick read, and yes, I will be reading one Discworld book a month to actually get through them because it is taking me years. Then, the day before my darling mother's birthday is Burns Night. So that is essentially, you read a lot of Robert Burns poetry. It is essentially the vibe here, and I have read his collection already, and I want to give away from the wonderful folks over at the indie publishers Croggon, which is based in Scotland, and so they sent me the Tam O'Shanter graphic novel. So obviously this is the poem that was written by Burns and it has been adapted by Richmond Clements and the art by Inco. And they also sent me Hagstorm by Victoria Williamson, which is essentially a novelisation of Tam O'Shanter. So I will be reading these on that day specifically. Obviously this will be incredibly quick to get through. This one is a middle grade book and it is just over 200 pages, so this will also be a very quick read for me. So yes, I'm going to be reading these on Burns Night. I'm very excited. I will probably also be having haggis. It's going to be a good time overall. Then my one non-science fiction fantasy book for the month, and that is Smoke Gets in Your Eyes by Caitlyn Doughty. I have followed Ask a Mortician for years now. Many, many years. I first found her from her Titanic video and have watched her ever since, although I have fallen off the bandwagon a bit recently. Life. This was sent to me by the wonderful Olivia from Olivia's Catastrophe, who knows that I've been desperately wanting to read this for ages. I got this for my birthday last year and still haven't read it. And I wanted one non-fiction for this month. These last two are for different reasons. One is because I really just need to carry on with the series that I'm already reading. It's ridiculous. I have so many on the go, and so I'm going to be reading A Fire Endless by Rebecca Ross, which is the sequel to The River Enchanted. Oh my god. Look man, I'm not getting it out. I'm pretty sure it's A River Enchanted. This is the sequel to that in that duology. It's absolutely gorgeous. This edition is just... it's like a faux Penguin Classics. I love it. I love it. And this is, although it's written by an American author, the duology is based in northern Scotland and the islands, and I really, really enjoyed this. I have made my fellow booktuber Caitlyn from My Cheshire Rabbit read the first book. I sent her it. She states that the Scottish rep is actually quite good, especially considering it's an American author. Scottish rep is great. So I do recommend this series so far, at least for the first book. This is another one with musical fantasy, so I've got 2 of those this month, which should be a lot of fun to compare and contrast them. And then my last actual definite read, that is London Falling by Paul Cornell. I bought this relatively recently, like in the past year or 2, but I bought book 2, The Severed Streets, from the Works in 2016. Anyone who knows the Works, oh my god, that TikTok. Oh, it had me dying.
Next time you're in London, this is the bookstore you need to go to. It's called The Works. It's a discount bookstore. The store honestly gets my book talk stamp of approval.
But yeah, anyone who knows the Works, I had no clue that this was in a series. It doesn't say on the back. There's no indication that this is a series, and it sounded interesting. So I picked it up. And then it's been on my shelves for years because I haven't been able to read the first one, so I got myself the first one. So technically this is continuing a series, even though it's starting a series. You know what I mean. So I'm hoping that I enjoy it so that I can read the second one. And this is my January reading stack. It is a little bit big, but I feel like deceptively so, because of course 2 of these I'm reading in one evening, and this one is a reread. I am still trying to take it easy. If I manage to read all of these, fab, I'll pick up some more books, because there were books that I kept almost adding to this TBR as I was making it, and no. Behave. But yeah, so if I finish it, great. But let me know down below if you have read any of these. I would love to know your opinions, especially with Discworld, because I need to get back into it, and be reading one of those each and every month is going to be a lot of fun. Thank you so much for watching, folks. Let me know what you're planning to read in January in the comments down below, and I will see you folks in the next video. Bye!